Fans in shock. Ripa confirms the saddest news about her husband, Mark. The headline screams across the screen, a digital dagger aimed directly at the heart of every fan who has ever admired one of Hollywood's most enduring love stories. Saddest news. Fans in shock. The phrasing is a masterclass in algorithmic anxiety, designed to compel a click, to send a jolt of dread through the system. For the millions who have welcomed Ripa into their living rooms for over 2 decades, first with Regis and for years with her cherished co-host and real-life husband, Mark Consuelos, the immediate assumption is catastrophic. A health diagnosis? A tragic accident? The unthinkable shattering of a marriage that has stood as a bastion of stability in the turbulent world of fame? The truth, when Kelly confirmed it on her popular show, Live with Kelly and Mark, was both profoundly sad and, in its own way, beautifully mundane. It was not a death nor a divorce. It was a departure. The saddest news was that Mark Consuelos was moving out of their family home. But this was not a story of separation. It was a story of a chapter's end, of the quiet, aching grief that accompanies the most natural and even the most successful of life's transitions, the empty nest. This is the story behind the headline. It's a 3,000-word exploration not of a scandal, but of a seismic shift in a family's life, a meditation on marriage, parenthood, and the identity we forge in the beautiful, chaotic trenches of raising a family. The announcement. A pall of silence over the morning show. The atmosphere in the live studio was different that morning. The usual effervescent banter, the playful bickering that fans have come to adore, was tinged with a palpable melancholy. Kelly, ever the professional, still sparkled, but there was a weight behind her eyes. Mark, the steady, grounding force, seemed more reserved. The topic arose organically, as it often does on the show, from a conversation about their children. They spoke of their eldest, Michael, 27, who is married and building his own life and career. Their daughter Lola, 22, is a vibrant young woman navigating her early 20s. And their youngest, Joaquin, 21, had just left for his final year of college. It was then that Kelly, her voice softening, turned to the audience and made the confession that would become the saddest news. Mark has moved out, she said, letting the statement hang in the air for a moment, allowing the shock to register before clarifying. He's moved into Michael's old apartment. The reason, with Joaquin officially gone, the family home, a sprawling, multi-story New York City residence that had echoed with the sounds of 3 growing children for over 2 decades, was now silent. The constant hum of life had ceased. The late-night ridge raids, the blaring music from behind closed doors, the perpetual pile of shoes by the front door, the impromptu family meetings in the kitchen. It was all over. Mark, a man of action and practicality, had looked around at the empty rooms and made a decision. The house, a home, was now too big, too quiet, too full of ghosts of laughter past. He packed a bag and decamped to their son's former apartment, a smaller, more manageable space that didn't echo with the absence of their children. Kelly, however, had refused to go. She remained in the family home, a sentinel guarding the memories. Deconstructing the saddest news, it's not a crisis, it's a transition. To an outsider, this might seem like an overreaction, but for any parent who has stood in the doorway of a child's freshly cleaned, unnervingly tidy bedroom, the emotion is instantly recognizable. It's a unique and piercing form of grief, one that is laced with pride, love, and a deep, abiding sense of loss. This was the saddest news Kelly was confirming. She was giving a voice to the silent, universal ache of the empty nest. 1. The geography of grief. For Kelly, staying in the home was an active act of processing. She explained, "I need to sit in it. I need to feel the feels." She wasn't running from the sadness, she was immersing herself in it, allowing the waves of memory to wash over her. Every scuff mark on the floor told a story. Every chip in the paint was a relic from a birthday party, a frantic morning, a childhood mishap. To leave would be to abandon a museum of their most cherished years. Mark, conversely, processed his grief through change. The emptiness was not a comfort to him, it was an amplifier of loss. By moving to a new, neutral space, he was able to catch his breath, to create a new normal without the constant physical reminders of what was no longer there. This is a classic and often gendered response to grief. One partner becomes the keeper of the memories, the other the architect of the future. The end of the daily grind. For nearly 3 decades, Kelly and Mark's lives had been structured around the relentless, beautiful logistics of parenthood. School runs, soccer games, parent-teacher conferences, college applications, curfews, and grocery lists that stretched for miles. Their identity as a couple was intrinsically woven into their identity as mom and dad. At overnight, that primary function, the daily, hands-on work of raising children, was complete. What replaces that all-consuming purpose? It's a question that can leave even the most successful individuals feeling unmoored. The saddest news was the acknowledgement that this intensely collaborative project was over. They had succeeded. And in that success, they had to rediscover who they were, just as Kelly and Mark. From soap opera romance to real-life partnership, the foundation of this nest. To understand the depth of this transition, one must look back at the foundation upon which this nest was built. Kelly and Mark's love story is the stuff of Hollywood legend, but its roots are strikingly real. They met in 1995 on the set of All My Children, where Kelly was playing Haley Valian and Mark was the new, impossibly handsome Mateo Santos. The chemistry was instant and electric. In a story they have both told with relish, it was Mark who made the first move, leaning in for a passionate kiss during an audition read-through. Kelly, though initially taken aback, was undeniably swept away. She has said, "I felt like I was struck by lightning." Their courtship was a whirlwind. After a year of a secret, passionate romance, complicated by their on-screen relationship and network policies, Mark proposed on a boat in Central Park. They eloped in a Las Vegas chapel in 1996, a decision that shocked their colleagues and families. It was impulsive, romantic, and utterly them. This origin story is crucial. Their relationship began not as a calculated Hollywood merger, but as a genuine, all-in connection. They built their life together from the ground up, away from the spotlight initially, forging a bond that was about partnership, not publicity. When children arrived, Michael, Lola, and Joaquin, that partnership deepened. They were famously hands-on parents, often speaking about the challenges of balancing demanding careers with the chaos of family life. They presented a united front, a team. Their home wasn't just a house, it was the headquarters of Team Consuelos. The empty nest, a crisis or a renaissance. The narrative of the empty nest is often framed as a crisis, particularly for women whose identities are heavily invested in motherhood. But for Kelly and Mark, this period, while tinged with sadness, is also being framed as a renaissance. 1. Reclaiming the couple. For years, their time alone together was stolen moments between children's activities and work obligations. Date nights were planned military operations. Now they have the freedom to rediscover each other without the label of mom and dad being the primary one. They can be Kelly and Mark again, the two people who fell in love on a soap opera set. This is a common and often positive phase for long-term marriages. With the children launched, couples have the opportunity to fall in love all over again, this time without the pressures of midnight feedings and teenage angst. They can travel on a whim, have spontaneous dinners, and reconnect on a deeper, more intimate level. Mark's move, while symbolic of the separation from the family unit, could also be seen as the first step in them consciously choosing to come back together, not out of necessity, but out of renewed desire. The professional pivot. Their careers are also uniquely positioned for this new chapter. Live with Kelly and Mark is more than a job. It's a daily, public diary of their lives. The show has evolved with them. It was live with Regis and Kelly, then live with Kelly and Michael, and now, poetically, live with Kelly and Mark. Having Mark officially join the show as co-host in 2023 was a masterstroke. It didn't just make for great television, it structurally wove their partnership back together in a new professional context, just as their parenting roles were scaling down. Their production company, Melojo Productions, also gives them a shared creative outlet beyond the daytime screen. They are business partners, creative collaborators, and now co-hosts. Their professional lives are more intertwined than ever, providing a sturdy bridge from the parenting years to the partnering years.